Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I see already people are joining the webinar. We'll just wait for one more minute for additional people to come up. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Okay, I think we will start now. So thank you again for joining our mission info session. It's nice to see you all, and I hope this will provide you an additional background and more detail about our sustainable consumption production mission, and also the people behind it and the process. My name is Hila from the Good Company team. I will facilitate the webinar today. And I also want to remind you that this session will be recorded and uploaded to our website and also our YouTube page so that we can refer to it whenever you need additional questions. And of course, you can approach us via email, via LinkedIn, whatever channel you prefer. We're happy to help and answer any questions. So I'll just go quickly about go over our agenda today. So this is a very short webinar. The aim is really to provide practical, concise information. So we're going to start with a short introduction, who we are at Good Company, what is the movement, what is this SCP mission, a little bit about the application process, who should apply. I know there were some questions I got over the email about that. What will you gain, and also who will you meet during the mission. And then for our second part, we're gonna have a short conversation with Eyal Rosenthal. Eyal, wave. And Eyal is from ReturnGO, one of our portfolio companies, and he also participated in a previous mission. And then I'm gonna stay for like 5 minutes to answer any questions you might have in the chat box. So I won't be able to see the questions that you would have during the session. If you want, you can write them down in the chat box. So I would be able to, at the end, see them and refer to the questions. So thank you. So who we are. Basically, we're a small team. It's only 4 of us. So Ido Fischler and Shachar Botzer started Good Company about 2 years ago, 2.5. And then Sandra joined the team, and I also joined a few months ago. So Ido comes from the traditional VC background. He was in F2 and SAP.io, which is the investment arm of SAP. And then Shachar was previously in 2B Group, which is an impact VC. And then Sandra was prior in Techstars in Israel, and then SOSA, the Open Innovation Consulting Company. And I also worked in government investments, and then also in impact investments in a few entities. So this is who we are. Who is Good Company? So we are a mission-driven VC. We invest in early stage companies from the pre-seed stage all the way to round A in companies that we've invested in. We aim to invest in companies that solve the greatest problems world and planet and people suffer from. Because basically we think that if you tackle the biggest problems, then you're going to get the highest rewards. So we focus mainly on people and planet software-centric solutions. So this means we invest in SaaS companies mainly, or areas of focus. So it's divided to people and planet. So with people, it's education, it's future of work and digital healthcare. And then with planet, we focus on circular economy, energy, and agriculture. This doesn't mean that we do not invest in other areas in those realms of people and planet, but this is our main focus. So if you do have a startup that you think is relevant to us, please approach us and we'll be happy to meet and discuss. We've done 11 investments so far. We are a $20 million VC. In most of the companies, we came in a pre-seed stage, some in a seed stage. So we're pretty flexible. Our check size is usually between $500 and $700,000. And we take about between like 6 and 10%. So you can understand what are the types of valuations and rounds. Sometimes we lead, sometimes we co-lead or jump into a round. So we're pretty flexible on that. So what is basically the movement? So this is our value creation platform where we basically reverse engineer VC. So we fall in love in problems and we want to investigate them and learn them and analyze them. And in order to do that, we partner together with multinational corporates and investors, and then basically seek startups, which are the solutions to the problems that we investigate. So we create consortiums of multinational corporates and investors, and together with them, we actively seek startups in those spaces. We might invest, or the corporates might invest through their CVC. But in addition to that, other outcomes can be pilots, POCs, customers. So there's a variety of what can come out of a mission for a startup, for a team, for a company. So we've done 6 missions so far in a variety of areas. We had mobility, we had silver tech, agriculture, supply chain, reaching net zero, which was our last one. And out of that, we analyzed that we had 12 pilots between startups and corporates. We've done 5 investments. Some of them were co-investments with the CVC. We've consortiumed with 32 corporates, 16 VCs, and overall we've seen around 720 startups. And in this mission, we hope to get to like a higher number as well, to really see what's out there, what's the landscape, and to meet as many of you out there. So basically, what's in it for you? Why should you apply? Why is it relevant for you? So in the mission, we facilitate meetings between experts that either work in those multinational corporates or investors with really insights about the market and the landscape. And that can provide really good feedback and insights for founders and for teams about really like what are corporate needs. Is it really relevant? Does my problem really answer challenges that they face and they are actively seeking for those solutions? So really it gives you good insights, and also it can open new markets for you as well. In addition to that, we also partner with investors. So since we seek really and invest in early stage companies, the investors we bring in may look at later stage companies. So if you are looking to raise funds in the next 6 months or a year, I would really highlight this opportunity, because this can provide you an opportunity to really like form a relationship with a relevant investor. And then in addition to that, I would also say PR is also good. Basically, we do articles and blogs, and on social media, we provide spotlights to the startups that are applying. And also we produce an industry report at the end of every mission. So that provides sort of like analysis of the industry landscape and the different domains and trends, and also highlight the startups that we meet and also applied to the mission. So either way, you can use that to your marketing resources as well. So the mission that we have in hand, sustainable consumption and production. So in this mission, we partner with KPMG, BCLP, Polyim High-Tech, and SCP, and we also have experts from Schneider Electric, Retech, and Grove Ventures. So the mission really focuses on the industry of sustainable consumption and production. And in that, we've decided to focus on three main sectors. So first one is sustainable manufacturing, and all the subcategories that you see here presented. The second one is supply chain management, and the third one is circular economy. You can see the subcategories. I would say, because like you do have access to that, this is on our website, and you can also send us emails if you have certain questions, if you are relevant or not. But I would say that, for example, if you are a biotech company and you're focused on generating and producing new kinds of materials for manufacturers, then this would be applicable to apply for the mission. If you are an accounting, like an ESG accounting platform with a focus of scope 3, then you should definitely apply. If you are handling the whole process of the supply chain from the manufacturer all the way to the customer, and then even backwards with reverse logistics, then this is applicable to you. I think if you have any questions, if it's relevant for you, you should definitely email it to us. And also, I would just say that the application process is pretty easy. It's just a Google form to submit, to add your pitch deck, add your logo, just so we have that. And basically, that's it. So our timeline. So the process is really that, first of all, we define the key areas, which I just presented. And now this is the call for application, which is open until April 9th. So now we are in this stage of seeking for startups. So I would also highlight, this is open for startups in all stages. So also from pre-seed all the way to mature companies. So if you want to talk in round language, so that means like pre-seed all the way to B plus, C even. I know also some mature companies that also like IPO'd, they can also apply. The idea is really to provide business development opportunities for startups and for us to see who is out there for potential either investments, but also to help corporates to find solution. So it's open for companies in all stages and also globally. So even though you don't sit in Israel, you're in the UK, you're in Africa, it doesn't matter where you are, you can apply. After that, once the applications close, we and our partners and the experts start to review the applications and see if it's relevant. And after that, we would also have during April a fireside chat event, so you can actually meet the corporates that and the expert that we're partnering with to really get more insights into what they're searching for and ask them questions. And then during May, we would have our peak event. It's called the Action Day, where in that event would come the selected 9 companies out of all the applicants that we've decided on together with all the experts and the partners. And there we would have a showcase where the companies basically pitch their ventures, and then would have an opportunity to sit one-on-one with the experts, with the multinational corporate executives, and with investors to get really insights and form those relationships. And then from that, we also facilitate more business development opportunities after the mission ends as well. So who should apply? So if your focus area is in one of the 3 domains, you should definitely apply. Geography-wise, I've mentioned that. It doesn't matter where you sit, all countries, all markets, this is open for you. As far as stage, as I mentioned, all stages. I would only just say, if it's only in the stage of an idea, and you don't have a team in place yet, this is too early, this is too late for you, then you should definitely form your team, understand what technology you're going to be using, what you actually want to do, and then maybe for the next mission, this would be relevant for you. This is the group of experts that you will meet at the Action Day. Basically, they are executives, they are experts in their domain, and they would have valuable insights to provide you, and also additional connections after the mission ends. The application process, as I mentioned, is pretty easy. You just apply through the Google form, which is on our website. And then basically the question we're going to ask you is, what is the need problem you're solving? In what stage are you? What's your competition? Really briefly, you don't need to provide a whole page of your competition. In what is your go-to market, who are your customers and ideal customers, because maybe you're only in an initial group of customers, but you are targeting a wider range or a more specific range. What is your competitive edge? Who are the founders and the team? And again, the pitch deck. After you submit, what do we do? So we actually do an internal review. Again, we, together with our partners, take about 3 weeks to really go deep into the information and do an analysis and understand, is it applicable, and evaluate it according to the corporate and investor needs. And then we decide on the 9 selected startups, and then we contact you and to inform you if you did move on to the next stage, which is presenting at the Action Day or not. And we would, again, be more than happy to keep the channel open. It doesn't matter that you didn't move forward to the Action Day. Maybe it was only relevant just because for the certain corporates. So it is open opportunity. So now we're going to move on to our second part of the session, and we're going to discuss with Eyal Rosenthal from ReturnGO his takeaways from the mission. So as I mentioned, we did have in the past 6 missions so far. This is our 7th. And ReturnGO actually participated in our sustainable supply chain mission, which took place in 2021. Our partners then were AB InBev, Deloitte Catalyst, AWS, Lomitech, and Maytal. And ReturnGO really left quite an impression on us. So we actually decided to invest in the team and provide an investment in a pre-seed stage. So I would like to welcome Eyal, co-founder in ReturnGO, to share his takeaways from the mission. So yeah, maybe you can share a little bit about yourself and your background.
Sure. So my name is Eyal Rosenthal. I'm one of the co-founders at ReturnGO, responsible for the business aspect. Previously, I worked in a variety of roles within the high-tech sector, also had unsuccessful stints in entrepreneurships, and am really helping lead ReturnGO to its growth and to make a significant impact in the worlds of return management and how merchants and customers behave. Now, ReturnGO, we're a return management system, and what we help and what we focus on is by focusing on the merchants themselves and the stores, the companies that all of us buy from online, become more profitable by helping them to reduce the returns. And it also seems returns is one of the significant causes of waste, both from a product side, both from a transportation side, and it is a significant pain point. And we are, through our technology, enabling the merchants to actually focus on how to offer alternatives and how to behave differently to cause impacts to their customer behavior, with the end result being higher merchant profitability, more satisfied customers, and a higher LTV. Today, we have approximately 2,100 merchants using ReturnGO. We have global leaders such as Decathlon, Tupperware in various geographies, Alo Yoga in some geographies, OrthoFeet, and really service a very broad and diverse set of merchants throughout the world.
Thanks, Eyal. It was really great to learn more about ReturnGO. And now I would want to jump on a few questions with you to really provide more insights to companies on the webinar. So my first question to you would be if you can share what was your expectation when you applied to the Sustainable Supply Chain Mission back in 2021?
So our expectation, I guess, was twofold. The first is, are we in a correct direction? Meaning, one of the debates and going back to when we applied, today ReturnGO has 28 employees in Israel. Back then we were significantly smaller, but we were questioning, were we going in the right direction? We had a belief that reducing returns is interesting to merchants. We had initial customers, but at that same point, we were still early in our growth, and we were questioning where do we actually go? Who are we actually supposed to be talking to? Because when you talk to everyone, you spread yourself out really thin. So one is in measuring our direction, and another one aspect was to try to beat other companies like us. It's a little awkward to say, but sometimes when you're in your entrepreneurship bubble, I guess I'd call it, and focus on running forward, it's also very lonely. And meeting those other companies that are similarly driven was one of the things that we wanted to meet, and to see what else is out there, what are other people doing. So that was the main impetus.
Yeah. So my second question to you would be, how has the business evolved since completing the mission, and what role did the mission play in that evolution, basically?
So the company's evolved significantly since then. When we participated in the mission, we were, I want to say, under 10 people as a company, and since then, we really have grown significantly. I think I'll answer this in a couple of parts. The most important thing that we started after the mission, and this had to do with actually some of the companies that we met in the mission, for example, with AB InBev, is really being able to identify what our ideal customer profile is. When we started, we were talking to everybody and everything, and one of the things that happened is the representative from AB InBev, we developed a good rapport with her. We had several meetings with her. She put us in touch with other people within the organization, and we were actually able to uncover that AB InBev, in spite of their size, and for those who are not aware of AB InBev, is the largest beer and liquor distributor globally, tens of billions in revenues. So in spite of their size, the problem that we were solving, even though it was a problem in their activities, it was actually one of the smaller problems that there were much more important things for them to focus on. And while we saw that as a whale for us to capture, it turns out that by talking to the relevant people there and by understanding from them how their business operates, we were able to see, okay, for them, that actually isn't the most important problem to solve, not just from a profitability perspective, but also from when looking at it from and what impact that they can make within their business, and what moves the needle, not just financially, but also from an environmental perspective, from a sustainability, from a circular economy aspect as well, from their activities. We weren't solving their key problem. And that was very good to know, because that helped us then also ask the questions, okay, who should we be solving the problems for? What areas we should be doing? And the mission really started us on that path in a much more effective manner, where today, if you were to ask not just me, but many people on our team, what's our ideal customer profile, you'd get a very straight answer right away. So that was one of the things. And One other thing was actually from the technology side. SAP participated in the last one. I think I don't know if they're participating with this one as well, but their perspective was also critical from a technology side. So that helped shape how we think of it, and how we take it in terms of our actual product. That was more putting them in touch with their CTO. So those were the two ones that were the most immediate. There were obviously additional ones that have been able to along the way. But yeah, if I look at the immediate things from the mission really helped shape both our focus in terms of customers and shape our product a little bit in terms of how we attack the market and what we present to individuals, because it seems that oftentimes it's the low-hanging fruit that gives them the most value.
Yes, I think something that's really resonated to me from the last mission is really like, you have those round tables where you meet the people and you meet the expert, and it's like very formal, but then you also have that moment of like, making coffee and discussing and really going into depth and really like, did you actually like, is it really relevant to you? Just like give it to me straightforward. I don't want to like waste your time. I don't want our time as well. So I think it's really valuable, and I'm glad that you were able to really get insights from them, and also get multiple connections in addition to that, addition to all the people that came to that action day.
Yes. One small comment. There was another startup in that mission that by happenstance, we both were in the in-person event, and myself and that founder hit it off. If you fast forward a year plus, their company and ourselves, and then two additional companies, created a forum of founders within that particular area of e-commerce and supply chain, where today it's now 7 companies and more that are asking to join. So there's been like a low-level industry impact as well.
Nice. I like that. And also in addition to that, you also got investments
Yes.
from Good Company. Can you share a little bit, like a brief about that?
So yeah, so we were a pre-seed company at the time, and really looking to make the growth from pre-seed to seed, and we're seeking a safe investment, and Good Company participated in that safe investment. The importance of Good Company within that group was far more outsized than the check size. It actually, I say that the biggest value came from the advice of the partners, and that's where we actually received the most value. The partners, Ido particularly, was heavily involved in everything having to do with setting up the correct management structure and the organizational structure within the team, so that we can have a successful seed round. And it was benefits that we could never expect. In addition, Good Company also provided several connections that ended up also investing, and were critical for us having a successful seed round. There's no short other way to say it. Good Company as investor has been amazing to us.
Thank you. Really glad to hear that, and we love partnering with you as well. And I just want to mention to our participants that the investment part is not necessary. So like, even though you are not looking for a current investment in the near future, this is still an opportunity for you to apply towards gaining really valuable business development opportunities. And then if you are looking for investments, so either we're relevant or other investors that we're going to bring in may be relevant for you. So that's that. And then I think my last question for you would be like, what advice would you give startups who are in this webinar, who are still considering if they should apply? What would your advice be?
I'll steal somebody else's saying, which is, if you're having doubt, then there's no doubt. If you're thinking about applying, apply. That would be the main thing, because part of seeing opportunities is being able to take them, and you don't actually know where an opportunity will lead to unless you make the efforts. And I know that for ourselves, I know that for other companies within our mission was definitely a value additive. And so that would be my recommendation, would be to apply, because if there's doubt, there's no doubt.
Love that. And I would also add to that there are some companies that apply to previous missions that may be applicable to this mission as well. And if you are considering, if I should, would I, should I think it's still relevant to submit, just because we still want to see your progress. If you applied 2 years ago, a year ago, maybe things changed, maybe you did gain more traction and progress and customers, and now it's a whole different ball game. So we want to know that, and then also to see if it's relevant for us as well. So thank you, Eyal.
My pleasure.
Really great speaking with you and hearing your insights. And I just want to say that really the idea of the mission and the movement as a whole is really an opportunity for us to meet founders and to see teams and to see what's out there, but it's also an opportunity for you to really get connected with multinational corporates. They can help you drive your company ahead towards a different, game-changing situations. And we really want to support founders in Israel, outside of Israel, because at the end of the day, if you are solving a major planet or people-focused solution and you're providing that, then this is valuable for us. So I want to thank Eyal. And then now I'm just going to stay for a few more minutes to answer any types of questions you might have in the chat box. So thank you everyone for joining.
All right, good luck, everyone.
Bye, Eyal. So the timeline of the application is basically the application is open, and then you can apply until April 9th. Okay, I don't think there are any more questions. So, here. Are the one-on-one meetings hosted live or digitally? The one-on-one meetings are hosted live. If you are a startup coming from abroad, basically abroad, then we would encourage you to come physically and meet the experts that we're going to have in the actual action day. It's really worth coming. Last year, we had a startup coming from Denmark, and then before that, also coming from Europe. We highly encourage that, but if it will be a problem, we will still be able to facilitate connections between startups, founders, and the experts if they see fit and it really aligns to solutions that they're looking for. So again, the deadline for the application, so now they are open and the applications are going to close April 9th. And on April 19, I would also mention, we have a fireside chat event, which invites and registration is going to be open in about a week or so. So you can also join that, but that will happen after the applications are closed. Okay, so if you do have any other questions, you can definitely contact us. I think our email is listed on the application form. My email is listed there. And also you can contact us through our website. So feel free to reach out if you do have any additional questions and you feel like something hasn't been answered now. You can really, we're really available and reach out to us. So thank you everyone for joining today, and have a good day.